So it turns out Epic is not wanting people to create, or I should say recreate, any of the OG maps. So for those of you who wanted the chapter 2 or the chapter 3 island to come back, well, guess what? That's not happening. You're not getting it. Don't ask for it. Shut up about it. Can't do it. There's a caveat. Any of the OG chapter 1 islands can be recreated, which I find incredibly interesting. The issue is that even if you recreate those islands, you cannot monetize those maps. So as you can see here, I got Atlas OG Battle Royale queued up. I was very excited for this. Turns out that Atlas could not actually produce their final product either. They had to remove a bunch of stuff from the map because they had memory issues. I'm a little confused, because it seemed like they had early access to UEFN, and Epic seemed to be aware of what they were doing, but now all of a sudden, one, the OG maps are a problem, two, there's a lot of issues with the Epic servers with Creative 2.0. We talked about this earlier this week and last week as well. We kind of figured that was going to be the case. There's going to be some teething troubles that you have when you've got a new system like this. For me, it's kind of a letdown. Now, there's going to be that one person, okay, or the 2 or 3 people that are going to be out there like, you know, I never really cared about the OG. Dude, no one cares. No, who gives a shit but you care about, okay? Imagine I'm having a conversation with my homies, right? I'm like, dude, that Transformers movie was lit, bro. You see that part where Optimus Prime stabbed that?
Amazing.
Oh, hold on a second. What's up? Who followed me? PWRF Flamingo. I appreciate you, man. Anyway, imagine I'm sitting there talking with my homies, and I'm like, bro, see that? Wasn't that Transformers movie dope, bro? Wasn't it so cool when Optimus Prime stabbed that Decepticon in the throat, man? Wasn't it great when, you know, he took out a shotgun and just hit Megatron in the back? Oh, God, bro, classic. Oh, man. And there's that one guy in the corner that's like, well, you know, I don't really like Transformers. And we all look at you and we're like, did we fucking ask you? This isn't for you, obviously. We don't give a shit what you like. Let us be excited about the shit that we like. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because some of you assholes want to talk about, oh, I never really liked OG Fortnite. I don't really care about the good for you. I'm glad you don't care about the chapter 1 map, because there's clearly plenty of people on the internet that did. Your map is probably the chapter 2 island. Maybe it's even the chapter 3 island. And I wanted to play on those as well. But it just kind of sucks that Epic's current policy is not going to allow creators to actually build those islands. I think I know the reason why. Earlier this week, I said that if creative UEFN builders, if they're able to recreate old maps, okay, and somebody else is following, appreciate you. If we, the players, are able to recreate old OG maps, that kind of doesn't give us any reason to play on the OG Fortnite island. Or sorry, God damn it, I can't think these goddamn not super chats. I can't, my brain's not working right now. I'm gonna try this one more time, okay? One more time. Okay. If we can make our own map.
A booby trap that actually catches boobies.
Does anyone else want to follow before I continue on my rant? Anybody else? If we can make our own maps, it doesn't give us much of a reason to play the current BR island. Whatever the current BR island is, like that can kind of be pushed to the background. I think Epic is trying to prevent that. That's why they're putting all these stipulations in, like, well, we'll let you have the chapter 1 island, and you can do any of the versions of the chapter 1 island, but even if you do, we're not going to let you monetize it. That's kind of crazy, man. All the amount of effort and energy that people have been putting into this, I pray to God that Atlas is going to get paid. I actually do want to read you what Epic had said themselves. That way you're not just getting the information secondhand from me. Updating terms to enable publishing versions of Battle Royale Chapter 1 Islands. Yesterday we launched Unreal Editor for Fortnite and for Fortnite Creator Economy 2.0. It's awesome to see thousands of UEFN projects get started in the first few hours of launch. Using anyone's intellectual property without their permission is a violation of Epic's rules, including the Fortnite EULA and of our Fortnite Island Creator rules. Those rules make it clear that you are not permitted to create, publish, or monetize content based on others' copyrighted IP. This is highlighted specifically in Section 4.1 of the Engagement Payout Program terms. All seasonal variations of Fortnite's Battle Royale maps and islands are Epic's intellectual property. I'm going to get to that in a moment because there's something weird about this. Having said that, we are as excited as you to relive the experiences we shared in the original Fortnite Battle Royale Chapter 1 map. So we are granting a special and specific exception to allow creators to publish their own remakes of the Chapter 1 maps and only the Chapter 1 maps. Like maps built using the Battle Royale island, starter islands, islands were created in Chapter 1 maps will remain ineligible for monetization. So here's my issue with this, and this is what doesn't make sense to me. Everything that we've done in creative up to this point has been using Fortnite's assets. When you create something like a creative mode, you're basically telling people, hey, use our assets to be able to build whatever you want. Now, I can understand them not wanting to bring in Optimus Prime and Freddy Fazbear, things like that. I can see there being legal ramifications for that, especially if it's not based off of a creator code system, but it's off of playtime for the map. However, let's look at them monetizing or limiting monetization on people recreating old Fortnite maps. Let's ignore like the chapter 2, chapter 3 island for now. Let's just look at the chapter 1 island. We're able to recreate those islands, but because that was your intellectual property initially, you're not going to let us monetize it. If that's the case, why is it that Tilted Zone Wars is monetizable? Why can we create POIs, but when we put a collection of POIs together on a map, how you had it originally, using the assets that you gave us based off of your game that we're working in, why can't we monetize that? That's not adding up to me. How many Tilted Zone Wars are there? How many gun game Pleasant Parks are there? How many times have we people recreated a specific part of the OG map and monetized it? You even give us the prefabs for those locations in creative. Like, I can understand everybody else's IPs, but within Fortnite, we can't use the very thing that makes up the game. I think the reason is because Epic doesn't want to have to fight itself. They don't want the main BR to have to compete with independently made BR islands, because if those got any traction, Epic would lose momentum from their main game. But that's the risk that they had to have known that they were running when they started this. Because I'm curious now, does that mean the guy that made Tilted Zone Wars can't do it now because he recreated Tilted? I mean, I guess you could say, well, there's some differences because, well, one is on an entire island, and two, like he took some creative liberties, like the mountains aren't there. So you're telling me that because I sculpted mountains and I made them realistic to the way they were before, forget recreating the entire city one for how it was, but because I sculpted some mountains around it and some hills, so that disqualifies me from being able to monetize? But here's the other part of it too, and this is the other thing that I find so weird. They're gonna allow us to recreate the chapter 1 island without monetization, mind you. At the same time, you're not gonna allow us to recreate the chapter 2 or chapter 3 islands. And I'm wondering if that's because they plan on, in some way or some form, bringing those islands back themselves. The thing that's unique about the chapter 1 island is that those assets and how they built that island, that data was completely lost. So when Atlas was recreating the OG island, it was kind of refreshing because it was like, oh, well, wow, okay, they had to rebuild this from scratch because Epic lost the files for it. Chapter 2 and chapter 3 are not like that. They should still have those files. So I'm wondering if they're going to do an Apex thing later on where it's like the maps cycle through maybe every 30-45 minutes. I also think there was a podcast with like Cypher, Ali A, and Lachlan today.
Being cool with people remaking the chapter 1 map specifically. Not necessarily all the other maps, and definitely not crossovers where we worked with partners, and that's, you know, there are properties involved in that. But saying that content can't be monetized, right? Because if it's like Epic building something and then you rebuild it and you make the money from it, like that's a weird business model.
But that's been your business model already, and that's the problem that I have. This has been the business model. The issue is, Epic, where do you draw the line? Where is the line in the sand that says, okay, this is too much like the original thing we had? Well, people have recreated not only just cities, but like entire chunks, like quarters of the island, playable BR. But now that somebody recreates the entire OG island, now you're flipping your lid and you're like, whoa, why are we drawing the line here? Part of the excitement of Creative 2.0 was being able to do all the cool stuff that we see people do in Roblox and other games. Like, yeah, let me have a Transformers map, bro, and have actual Transformers and fight as Optimus Prime and Megatron to the death in a BR kind of. Can y'all imagine a Transformers if they ever, Hasbro, hear my voice, you make a Transformers BR, I'm quitting Fortnite. I could be Starscream and fly from one POI to the next. I could be Optimus Prime. Oh god, dude, I would lose my mind. Chad, I'm not even joking. I would drop Fortnite so fast, but I'm really praying that Epic gets their stuff together, man, because there's a lot of experiences that I feel like we're being kept from. But we'll see what happens. Let's give it some time to see what it's looking like over the course of the next 6 months.